doesn't seem to be getting any better for FTX's Sam Bankman-Fried. Just today, it was announced that Caroline Edison and Gary Wang are going to be cooperating with federal authorities. What does this mean? Let's dive into the fallout from this new development as SBF is extradited to the US to stand trial. You may remember this video of the CEO of trading, Caroline Edison. But for those that don't, this should just kind of help paint that picture, right? Because keep in mind that they're going to be now that they are now going to be cooperating with the feds against SBF. All right, so let's watch this. Let's watch this clip quickly.
Yeah, absolutely could pull it off without my math degree. Use very little math. Use a lot of elementary school math. Being comfortable with risk is very important. We tend not to have things like stop losses. I think those aren't necessarily a great risk management tool. I'm trying to think of a good example of a trade where I've lost a ton of money. Well, I don't know. I probably don't want to go into specifics too much with that.
Little did we know that it was about to get a whole lot worse. Anyways, okay, so let's dive into the intricacy of this. What does this all mean, right? What else is going to emerge from this whole FTX debacle, however you want to pronounce it? Let's dive into this. The two individuals, Caroline Ellison, who was CEO of the trading firm Alameda Research, and FTX co-founder Gary Wang, are cooperating with federal authorities as they investigate Bankman-Fried and his collapsed empire. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission and Commodity Futures Trading Commission also separately filed fraud charges on Wednesday, accusing Ellison of manipulating the price of FTT, FTX's cryptocurrency, FTX's shitcoin, at the behest of Bankman-Fried, outlining a multi-year scheme to defraud equity investors. The SEC stated that investigations into other entities who may have participated in the misconduct are ongoing. In the SEC case, new court documents stated that Wang created and participated in the creation of the software code that allowed Alameda to divert FTX customer funds. Ellison, meanwhile, used the misappropriated FTX customer funds for Alameda's trading activity. So look, I know that they're going to want to make this sound really sophisticated. The creation of the software code, literally, it's just moving money back and forth. They're going to try to paint this guy as like some fucking coding genius. Anyways, all right. The two new suspects' guilty pleas provided some clarity as to the mindset of Bankman-Fried's inner circle, which comprised not only Ellison and Wang, but also former FTX Director of Engineering, Nishad Singh, former co-CEO of FTX Digital Markets, Ryan Salami, or Salam. Apologies. I don't know. When you see that E at the end, it could be Salam. Anyways, and former co-CEO of Alameda Research, Sam Trabucco. Interestingly enough, you notice how they're not mentioning the regulatory officer that came from Ultimate Bets, like this guy. So this is kind of interesting, right? Essentially, everything had to fly under this person's radar in order for it to in order for it to go through, right? Like all these frauds, all these schemes, like this is the regulatory officer. So this guy absolutely knew. that this was going on, and yet there is no mention of his name. Okay. I'm going to put a link in the show notes to the video that, because I believe he is the real face behind the whole FTX implosion. I think that Caroline, I think that Sam, I think that these people were just willing puppets, right? They, you dangle the money in front of them, you dangle all the power and all that stuff, and they're all like, yeah, sure, whatever. It sounds good. It sounds like it's going to work. How bad could it be? I know that people bought into the whole bullshit of his philanthropy, but let me tell you something, okay? This is the one thing I've learned. This bullshit nonsense of you need to, you want to make a whole bunch of money in order to give it away. Here's a crazy thought, okay? Some of the world's most, we'll say, powerful figures, right? Like if we're going to take for example, somebody like Mother Teresa or Gandhi, right? These people, they didn't have two pennies to rub together. Okay? And yet they influenced thousands of people. Okay? Millions of people in some cases. So this bullshit that you need to have a whole bunch of money in order to help a whole bunch of people, you know what? SBF, if you really wanted to help people, you would have just started fucking helping people. Okay? You wouldn't have tried to pull together a scam. So this is all nonsense. Okay? It was a really pretty picture that helped them sell a bullshit narrative. You know what? These three people, right, between Sam, Gary, and Caroline, all three of them, all three of them are definitely guilty. But I really believe that the main culprit is this regulator, this one name that is not being mentioned.